Hey guys, Coach Steven, slgfitness.com. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to cover some biceps anatomy and function. So we look at our biceps here. We have the Biceps Brachii, which is broken down into their short and long head. We also have our Brachialis, Brachioradialis, and Coracobrachialis. Excuse me. So when we take a look at our bicep here, I have this drawing. See our biceps brachii, the long and short head, make up this big portion of your biceps. Our brachialis runs under this bicep here on the outer part of your bicep. The brachioradialis is down in the forearm area region right here. And then lying underneath the big bicep muscle here is a coracobrachialis. As you can see, I have this dotted little area here that runs halfway down the humerus from the scapula. So what are some actions of these bicep muscles? Well, the biceps, the long and short head, the short head does elbow flexion with supination. So supination is when I'm coming up, I'm turning this pinky in or out. I'm wanting the pinky to be on top. So curl in like this. That's supination. It assists in shoulder flexion as well. You have to remember that it crosses the elbow and the shoulder joint, so it's a biarticular muscle. Assist in shoulder horizontal adduction as well. Now the long head is basically just elbow flexion with supination. That is what the function of the long head is. The brachialis is a pure elbow flexion. The brachioradialis is elbow flexion and assists in forearm pronation. So much like we talked about supination was coming up like this, pronation is the opposite way. You want your hand down. As where supination, the palm is up. And then the coracobrachialis is shoulder flexion, shoulder adduction, and shoulder horizontal adduction. Remember, it comes from the scapula down to about halfway down this humerus here. So shoulder flexion, the adduction, that's the role of that muscle. So knowing this, what are some tips that we can use and take to the gym? Tip 1, curl with supination and focus on the forearm, not the hand. So when we're coming in and doing our supination, we don't want to worry about what's going on at the hand to do this supination. We want to supinate the forearm and the hand will come along. So when we're curling up, focus on moving, supinating the forearm, and the hand will follow. Tip 2, a neutral grip for the brachioradialis. So much like when people are doing hammer grip, which is a neutral grip like this, they're targeting that muscle. So how can we further isolate this muscle? Well, to take the biceps out of it, we want to be in full shoulder flexion. So when we come up full shoulder flexion, we can use a cable and a neutral grip, and that's going to isolate that muscle and take the biceps out of the movement. Tip 3, use a forearm to bicep intent. What I mean by this is when we flex, we want to focus on bringing this forearm, smash it against that bicep. That's our intent. So, like that. Don't focus on the weight on the hand and bringing it up. Focus on bringing that forearm into that bicep. Tip 4, use dumbbells, cables, and single arm preachers over a fixed bar. A fixed bar, a lot of people will not have the allowable range of motion to get into a straight bar and do curls. So the better option would be to use a single arm movements with dumbbells, which also fits your carry angle much better. Also, the one-arm preachers with the bar, a lot of people cannot get this external rotation to do curls. So doing them one arm where you can move your body and keep that line of force straight down through your elbow and arm is a much better option. Tip 5, to work on your peak, use arm supported exercises, because this is going to take that coracobrachialis out of the movement. Remember that the coracobrachialis helps flex the shoulder. So to take that out of the movement, when we curl, we want a pad under our arm. That way there's no movement of shoulder, no shoulder flexion, shall I say, to bring in that coracobrachialis. So if we can keep our arm flat on that bench or surface, there's no shoulder flexion, therefore taking that muscle out, and we're all biceps right here. So what are some common mistakes I see? 1, too much shoulder flexion when you're curling. So from a side view, shoulder flexion when you're curling up, too much shoulder flexion is essentially going to take your biceps out of it, and it's not going to be as efficient. Allowing the arm to track back. So on the opposite end, when we come back and curl up, we don't want our arms to be tracking backwards. So we want to keep locked into one position and just straight curl. That's going to be the most efficient for the biceps. Anytime we allow any movement around the shoulder area, it's going to be taking tension off of those biceps. And that also covers the mistake 3. And lastly, not considering your carry angle. So what I mean by carry angle is if you look at my arms right here, my carry angle when I curl up is more straight across like this. Not like this. My carry angle is like this. And to train your biceps the most efficiently and to limit the kind of torque and elbow pain that can result from that, we want to be training in this kind of carry angle path. Now this will vary person to person. This is just something you'll have to assess on your own, or have someone like me who could be your coach assess this, and then we can set up a plan to target this a little bit better and make your training more efficient. So this goes back to where I was talking about that straight bar. If our carry angle is like this, how are we going to try to curl with a fixed bar out here in this plane? That's going to cause a lot of issues. So we want to stay within that carry angle to more efficiently and safely train. So there you have it, guys. That'll cover biceps here. Hopefully this was pretty beneficial for you. As always, you leave your comments, and I'll be sure and glad to get back to you with anything. Check out sogfitness.com for some more details. Till next time, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks.